lovely Virgos, I hope you guys are well. This is Debs, and we, of course, are here for your reading for November 2025. Now, Virgo, I got a beautiful vision for you guys. I saw a woman out in her garden, and she was actually initially looking a bit sad at a plant that she thought had died. And she looked at it and she thought, oh, it's so sad. It used to be beautiful. It used to be flourishing. Okay, nothing for it. I've just got to bin it. I've just got to bin it. It's way past recovery. So she carried it sort of lovingly, sort of begrudgingly to this dustbin area. But when she took off the plastic bottom of the plant, she looked at the roots and she thought, actually, the roots look really healthy. Okay, the plant's all brown and crispy at the top. It's as if there's no hope. But if I look at the roots, I wonder if I could regenerate this plant. And so she took it back into the kitchen, cut off all the dead leaves, gave it a really good soak with fertilizer, and repotted it in fresh soil in a much bigger pot. And she left it in a sunny position and she just walked away. 2 weeks later, she came back to the plant and there was a tiny green shoot that was just pushing through. And she smiled to herself and she thought, I'm so glad I didn't throw it away. I'm so glad I just gave it a little bit more TLC and it's all been worth it. So Virgo, you may be in a situation where you may have felt a situation was really completely done, really done. But what you're going to be recognizing is there is hope for this to flourish again. There's hope on the horizon. So guys, let's jump in. Here we go. The deck that I'm using is the Divination Tarot. If you guys want a private reading, my website's down below. Of course, as always, the decks are listed and the link is there to join the channel too. So, my lovely Virgos, maybe hope on the horizon. Okay. Now, this is all symbolic, as you know. I feel you may be trying to regenerate a relationship. It could be a friendship, it could be a family situation, it could be a love situation. You're realizing, Virgo, all is not lost. All is not lost. This just needs a little bit of delicate handling. This just needs for you to look at maybe a root issue and see what you can do to sort of nurture this again. Okay. All right, Virgo. Interesting. The Page of Cups. Oh, Virgo, you can get me all upset and teary. Bless you. Oh, okay. Okay. Archangel Michael said something just fell flat. Okay. Something just ended. It might have been a little shocking. I want to start with this one. Virgo, 5 of Cups. You might have been looking at a situation negatively. All right, well, this is kind of over, you know. But what you're recognizing is you could manifest this situation flourishing again. Could be with a water sign, but the Magician is also Virgo, Scorpio, Gemini. You may need to push your boundaries. You may need to get out of your comfort zone because you've got a fish out of water here. You may need to do something that is not natural to you, or you may feel uncomfortable doing. It could be simply to sit down and have a really serious conversation with someone. If, Virgo, you feel that an apology is needed, you may need to do that. You may need to do that. That could be the start of sorting this out. A very basic, simple, I'm so sorry for what happened. That's it. That's it. Maybe this person just felt you didn't care. Maybe this person felt that you were a little defensive, a little bit distant with them, not really wanting to take responsibility, not really wanting to admit that maybe you might have done something wrong. An apology will go a long way, Virgo. An apology will go a long way. So guys, I think you're going to move from the Five of Cups into manifesting this beginning all over again. And it might start with an apology. Now, guys, it could be completely switched. It could be this is someone who is apologizing to you. All right. Let's do this. Here we go. Oh my goodness, the devil. All right, so you could be connecting with a Capricorn, or you may have felt a situation was just so toxic, there is no way that this could be mended. There's no way that this could be mended. Very interesting. I'm seeing this woman go back in time, and she's remembering leaving this plant outside in the summer, very hot, and she remembered seeing the leaves, the flowers wilting, thinking, oh, I've got to water that plant. Maybe she forgot. Maybe she thought, no, it's okay, it's just the heat of the sun. And then I'm being shown a clock, and Archangel Michael showing this woman watering this plant profusely, but almost over-watering it, so it might have sort of drowned in too much water. Virgo, what I'm getting here is there might have been no moderation at all. This could be the equivalent of someone leaving somebody else out in the cold for a very, very long time. So the foundation crumbled to dust, right? There was nothing left. But then being over the top, almost to compensate, but it was too much. Okay, guys, interesting. Yes, Five of Swords. Now, Virgo, this is about sabotage. Sabotaging a situation. And due to that, you found yourself sitting in toxic energy. Now, this could be you, could be somebody else, no judgment. In the past, Three of Swords. There may have been heartbreak, Virgo, because you may have felt, whatever I do, it's not going to make any difference. After that time, Three of Cups, you may have talked to friends, family about the situation, or you may have concentrated on communicating with other people, concentrating on what was good in your life, because this just seemed a mess. So you may have sort of left it thinking there's no way this can be resolved. So I'm just going to concentrate on what makes me happy, right? Because you may have felt this was just a lost cause. In your thoughts now, the Six of Swords. I feel, Virgo, you're wanting to steer through some choppy waters in order to bring the situation into balance. You're realizing it's time. You may want to travel to see someone, to have a conversation. But this is you seeped in your emotion, Virgo. You're just on the top of your emotion. You're on the top of the water, but you are immersing yourself in your emotion. Not too deep, just dipping your toe in the water. But it might be enough for this to flourish again. In the immediate future, the Nine of Wands. What I'm actually hearing is it really going to be worth it this time? Is it really going to be worth it? This, Virgo, is your sort of final shot at this. If this doesn't work, whatever plan you have in place, if this doesn't work, I think you're deciding to simply walk away. You're giving it one final chance. In your fears, the King of Cups. Fearing Virgo speaking to a King of Cups, maybe a Pisces, Cancer or Scorpio, or fearing Virgo in the nicest sense if you're a masculine, fearing getting in touch with your emotions about this. Because Virgo, you may have pushed your emotions down to sort of get through a challenging situation, just detaching from your emotion. But what you're realizing this needs is an emotional response, an emotional conversation, delving into feelings, delving into your senses, right? Whoever you're communicating with, their energy, they may be at a distance from you, Virgo. They're standing at crossroads, thinking about you. They're standing at crossroads. They don't know whether or not this is going to work either. They have no idea. But I'm feeling as if they haven't fully walked away from this either. So this is kind of sweet, guys. This is you thinking, I'm going to give this one final chance. You may feel you're tired, you're weary, you're drained. You may have been through a storm, Virgo. I feel your person is standing at crossroads, wondering whether or not this can be mended. I think your person is also sort of standing at crossroads, wondering whether or not this is worth another shot. In your hopes, the Lovers, Gemini, you're hoping, Virgo, to make the right choice. You're hoping to make the right choice. You're wanting this to work. And the outcome. Now, Virgo, this is beautiful. This is you embracing change, feeling a lot more optimistic, stepping forward and looking out towards your future. You're feeling a lot more optimistic because I think, Virgo, what you're realizing is this situation was not totally over. There was a spark left. There were healthy roots, right? So even though on the surface it looked as if this was done, looking at this more closely, Virgo, what you're realizing is, no, there is a chance. It's a faint chance, but it's possible to regenerate this. Clarification for you. We have the Knight of Wands. Could be dealing with a younger fire sign. And we have the Star, Aquarian energy. So Virgo, this might have been a little bit of an erratic situation. You may have charged in. It may be that what you're realizing is this wasn't the right approach. This can be you flying in left of center, speaking your piece, and then leaving, right? But you may have realized that you left someone vulnerable, or somebody wanted you to be vulnerable and you weren't. The equivalent, Virgo, would be you as a nurse, highly stressed, thinking, oh my God, I'm exhausted. A patient comes in, they're really, really stressed. They've been through an accident, and this is you plonking them on a chair, disinfecting the area, slapping a plaster on it and saying, okay, you're done. Yeah, it's fine, it'll heal, don't worry. Next, Whereas this situation may have needed a little bit more TLC. What you needed to do, Virgo, was to take a deep breath, think, okay, I'm tired, but this is quite an important situation. Welcome this person, give them a cup of tea or a glass of water. Talk to them softly. I'm so sorry you went through this. Oh gosh, it must have been a shock. Let's sort you out. Let's sort you out. I'm going to disinfect the area. We're going to put a little bit of cream on this for you. And we're going to put a really nice clean bandage, okay? Do come back if you feel you need to. It's absolutely fine. We're always here. That's what you should have done. But Virgo, I feel that you were dealing with a really difficult situation. It may even have been another situation that took your time, your energy, your focus. Okay? So you are now revisiting this. You're taking that plant, you're cutting off the dead foliage, you're looking very carefully at the roots, you're replanting it, you're adding fertilizer, you're giving it a nice big pot to grow in, you're nurturing it, okay? Now, Virgo, whoever you're connecting with here, they are standing at crossroads. They haven't walked away either. They're thinking about you. Yes. Beautiful. Virgo, this is you. They're thinking about you. They've been doing a lot of soul searching about you. They may have felt they left you out in the cold as well. They may feel partly to blame. Because, Virgo, they may have done something foolish, or this is someone who might have taken a little bit of a leap of faith and a risk when they shouldn't have done. So, guys, underneath the deck, yeah. 5 of Wands. There was conflict, there was drama, there was stress, okay? And I think, Virgo, your instinctive reaction was to pull well back and to hang on to what you already had. I'm just going to pull back, hang on to what I've already got, and distance myself. So that was what you decided to do. It seemed logical at the time. It seemed the right thing to do, to simply shift into protection mode. 2 of Pentacles. Because, Virgo, you needed some time to think. This is you deliberating. You may have been dealing with 2 separate situations at the same time, and that might have been a real challenge. You may have been trying to sort of get out of a toxic situation, as well as forge a new path with someone else. And what you realized was it was just too much for you to manage. So you may have pulled back, Virgo, and not done anything about either situation for a period of time, simply because you didn't know how to handle either. Could be. But you're looking at one situation now and you're realizing all is not lost. You might have to let one situation go. You might have sabotaged one situation. It might have just got too toxic, but you're ready to put effort into something else. So guys, let's get into this and see what comes through. Archangel Michael, why is Virgo thinking about the devil and the 5 of Swords? All right, we have the Hierophant. Now, Virgo, you may have sabotaged a connection with a Taurus or a Capricorn, or you may have been caught up in a toxic situation because you decided to follow a traditional path that wasn't relevant in the situation. You might have been more about logic and practicality than you were about emotion. Well, this seems logical, so I'm going to follow these steps, wrap it up with a bow, and it's going to be fine. But Virgo, it wasn't fine. It got toxic. It got toxic. Yes, Ace of Swords. Because you followed a traditional path, Because you just saw the patient, sat them down, disinfected it, slapped on a plaster and said, okay, you can go now, you realised it wasn't the right approach. It just wasn't. You did what was practical. You did your job, right? In many ways. You did what was expected of you, but it's as if you did it cutting off your emotion. And the other person felt that. They felt that disconnect. So it didn't work. Following rules and regulations and doing what was logical and practical just didn't work for the situation. Temperance. And Virgo, once you did this, wrapped it up with a bow, okay, fine, done that, sorted that, you coasted. You just pulled back and coasted. But what you realized was the situation didn't mend. The situation needed nurturing, needed TLC, real TLC. And you sat realizing that it wasn't the right thing that you did. But Virgo, you did what you felt was right at the time. You did what you felt was right at the time. Although looking back, a different approach was necessary. You couldn't have seen it in the past maybe, or you were thinking about other things in the past. It might have related to a long-term commitment. It might have related to a family situation. So in the past, Virgo, there was heartbreak. There was a sense of, I don't know what to do about this, you know? Queen of Pentacles, yeah. Virgo, I think this might be you. You were heartbroken in the past. This is a woman who is looking almost very sadly at this pentacle. She's got a lovely homestead. She's sitting on a throne. Everything is very calm. Everything is picturesque, but she's looking incredibly sad. Virgo, you may have been in a situation where finances were stable, but there was no emotion in a connection. And you were very sad about that. Very sad, guys. Page of Swords. There might have been cold conversation with someone because you felt sad. Or you may have called someone out, Virgo, because something wasn't working. It just wasn't working. Gosh. And there was a tower moment. Aries, Scorpio energy. There was a tower moment. All right. Relating to the Ten of Pentacles, there was a tower moment in a long-term commitment, or there was a tower moment relating to your stability. Okay. After that time, Virgo, you may have made the best of a difficult situation. You may have pulled people around you, friends, people that you were close to, because something else was completely unfulfilling. It's as if you thought, well, one situation is done, so I'm going to concentrate on my friends. I'm going to concentrate on things that make me happy. This might have been a plaster over a deep wound, whatever this was. But you felt it was the right thing to do at the time because you didn't want to think about maybe the core issue. You didn't want to think about a situation that you were sad about. Yeah. Yes. And so you protected your happiness, Virgo. You protected your happiness. And you thought about leaving a situation behind altogether. or this is done. I'm really sad about the situation. There was a tower moment in a long-term commitment or to do with your finances. And what you thought was, okay, well, maybe I should just walk away. Yeah. Because you felt that this couldn't be resolved. You felt this couldn't be mended. Very sad. Okay. I think, though, after that time, guys, there was a bit of a wake-up call. Now, that wake-up call could be you understanding that this situation could be mended. What's on your mind? Wow. Yeah. We have somebody here looking at a plant. Well, maybe there's hope. Maybe there is hope. This person's looking at new shoots, right? Maybe there's hope for this. This does need TLC. This does need careful handling. But maybe this could be sorted out. So what you're thinking about now is, let's see if we can move to calmer waters. Let's see if this can be resolved. Two of Swords. It's as if, Virgo, though, you're sailing towards the situation to resolve it in semi-darkness. Right? Semi-darkness. Is this worth it or not? I'm totally out of my comfort zone here. I feel a bit blindfolded. Is it worth it? Is it going to sort itself out? You're going to give it a shot, though, Virgo. You're going to give it a shot, yes. You are moving forward. It's a little bit erratic. It's a bit all over the place. Things falling off the back of this chariot, but you're determined to try. You're determined to try. Well, what else are you thinking about? What else are you thinking about? The Five of Pentacles. That you may have actually left somebody still wounded. This is you as the nurse, you know, slapping a plaster on a deep wound and then forcing this person out into the cold. Yeah, I'm sure you'll be fine. You'll be fine. You're going to sort yourself out. Yeah, don't worry about it, because you were already looking at the next patient, right? You were logical about this. Well, I'm sure this is going to be okay. But Virgo, it wasn't okay. And so you're racing back to help heal this person who might have felt left out in the cold, maybe struggling even financially, I don't know. Because you want to make them happy, Virgo. You want to make them happy. You want to bring some happiness into this person's life. Because what you're thinking about is, wow, okay, I had my hands full, I was thinking about something else, or I thought this was over, so I just left it. What you're thinking about is Five of Coins. This person was wounded. This person was sad. This person needed your help, your encouragement, your compassion. You're coming in to bring happiness to the situation again. Because what you're realizing is this is not totally over. This isn't. This has a chance to regenerate with the power of the sun, which is your warmth, your kindness, Virgo. There is hope for this. So in the immediate future, you're looking a little weary. Nine of Wands, it's as if, oh, okay, well, this is kind of the last shot. Let's see if this is going to work. Your person's thinking about you, possibly at a distance. They haven't moved on either. They're standing at crossroads. They're thinking about you. They may be feeling as if, Virgo, they did something a bit foolish and they feel a bit stupid, okay? But they also felt that the way you approached this was a little bit unemotional in the past. So, Archangel Michael, when do we have the Nine of Wands and the Two of Wands for Virgo? Thank you, Michael. 21st of December. Okay, a bit of a strange date. 21st of December. I'm actually seeing somebody wrapping up a gift, a little gift. Virgo, you may go to see someone with a present. It could be a Christmas present. I think that's what you're doing around about the 21st of December. Let's have a look at your energy. You're giving this one final chance. 6 of Pentacles. You want to balance the scales, Virgo. You want to balance the scales. You want to make this right. Scorpio energy. You may want to speak to a Scorpio. What you're saying to this person is, I think this can be transformed. I think we can sort this out. What you're saying to this person is, I think this can be transformed. I think this can be transformed. It's going to take courage and confidence to do this. Leo energy. Yes, new shoots, right? Yes, this can be regenerated. This still has a chance of working out. Yes, because Virgo, finally, you're delving into your emotion about this. You're being warm, loving, compassionate, caring. This is what was missing, Virgo, in the nicest sense, guys. I think you were dealing with something so difficult, so toxic, so challenging. You went into survival mode. Okay, well, let's sort this out. This seems logical. This seems the right thing to do. Because you just wanted it over and done with. Because you didn't know what else to do. What you're doing now is you're revisiting the situation and you're being a lot more emotional. You're sitting this person down. How have you been feeling? Are you okay? Let's see if we can sort this. Virgo, this is such a gorgeous energy from you. Oh, guys, I'm feeling quite emotional. Look at you. This is the gift, Virgo. This is the gift you're bringing this person. This is the gift you're bringing this person. This is the olive branch. Yes, because what you're recognizing is they've gone through a very difficult time. You left them to heal, but this is you leaving this person to heal in a dark room on a stone bed. There's no comfort here. You left them in darkness. You're recognizing this. Yeah. What are you saying to this person? Oh, 2 of Cups. Okay. Virgo, this is you being really emotional. Heart open. If this is a love situation, Virgo, you're telling this person, I do still love you. That didn't change, but I was caught up in something very toxic and I didn't handle this the right way to begin with. If this is a family situation, you're simply moving towards someone to say, I'm sorry I wasn't a little bit more loving or compassionate. I was dealing with something very, very difficult. I was on edge. I was a little bit defensive. I'm sorry. I do care about you. Do you want to have a chat? I mean, this is what you're doing, Virgo. It's lovely energy, guys. What is your person thinking about? The Emperor. They're either thinking about the way this was handled. They may look at their part in a situation and think, yeah, you know what? I was a little bit power hungry. I sat in a bit of ego myself. I wanted to win. I wanted to be in control. So your person is admitting their part in this too. Yeah, Virgo. Yeah. They took control and just thought, okay, well, this is over then. That was it. I think this person was sat in a little bit of ego. Okay. And I think what you're realizing, Virgo, is you didn't approach this in the right way, not with compassion and not with kindness, because you were dealing with something else that was very, very difficult. Tell us about this Emperor. Tell us more about this Emperor. Okay. King of Pentacles. Virgo, I think this is your person. You know why? I think we have the King and Queen of Pentacles here. I think this is a reconciliation between two people who were torn apart by a toxic family situation. It could be other family members cause stress, drama, chaos, financial loss, and maybe, I have to say, one person might have been unfaithful, okay? And I think with all that put together, this relationship just crumbled. But your person, Virgo, your Emperor, is wanting to see if this can be mended too. Yeah. A lot of passionate messages, guys. What are they saying to you? Yeah. Oh, Virgo, they want to work on it as well. They want to work on it. They're wanting to put in the effort too. Guys, this is lovely. This is reconciliation. Now, if there were financial issues, then they are working on that to balance out a situation, or maybe just to get a better job. What else are they telling you, Virgo? Judgment. That they've made a really serious decision, or they may be wanting to tell you that they're going to talk to a Sagittarian, and it might be something relating to helping mend this connection, this dynamic. Yes, collaboration. If we pull together, this can be sorted. Let's have a look at the energy between you two. Yes. Oh, Virgo. Okay. I think both of you are realizing it's going to take time, energy, and effort, and some patience and compassion, but this can be resolved. This can be sorted out, my Virgos. So, guys, you are hoping that you've made the right choice. I think you have. To revisit this connection again, to smooth everything over. And Virgo, the final card is your ships coming in. 3 of Wands. This is a beautiful, optimistic energy. This is excitement. This is, yes, okay, great. We're on the same page. Maybe finally. And there's going to be a sense of victory and success. Oh, guys, how wonderful. Okay. What else are you talking about, you two? You're talking about options, but what is lovely is we've suddenly got a lot of cups energy coming through because both of you are now in touch with your emotions, right? You're coming through with a lot of loving, nurturing energy, and your person is stepping back and realizing that perhaps potentially they wanted to hold the reins, they wanted to be too much in control, and they didn't allow something to flow naturally. What are you both thinking about? What are you both thinking about? Yeah. What you're thinking about is you were so caught up with maybe having to manage weeds in the situation, that you forgot to nurture the plants, if you get me. You're realizing you're both admitting past mistakes. Yes. And you were both sat too much in your head, too much analysing, worrying, going over and over and over what happened, that you forgot to actually sit down and consider whether or not you could resolve this. Yes, what are you thinking about? Justice. This is you bringing balance back to the situation. Yeah. You may be sitting in some nostalgia. You may be going back through memories of when you first met. You're balancing out this past situation. Yeah. And Virgo with the Four of Wands. This is you two coming back together again. This is you two feeling nice and stable. There could be talk about, if you're married, renewing your vows. You could be talking about moving. Let's do something completely different. Let's live somewhere different. Fresh, clean slate. Yes. Yes, and I feel the divine is with you. They're helping you move forward into a beautiful new cycle. There's also going to be some good news. What is the good news? Okay, the High Priestess. Well, whatever the good news is, Virgo, I feel the divine is saying that's for another day. That's something that is going to be held back from you until it's the right time to reveal whatever this is. So, my beautiful Virgos, what a lovely, lovely reading. I'm so pleased. Do let me know if this resonated with you. Just leave me a comment down below. But for now, I'm leaving it there. Take care of you guys. And of course, I'll be back before you know it with your next set of readings. See you soon, Virgo. Bye, guys.